Hey, welcome back to another video. My name is LUNARWASLOST, and today I got another story for you, another psychedelic story for you, an insane one that maybe a lot of you can learn from, take some stuff from. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I have my fan going on in the background, so if that bothers you, I'm super sorry. But it's just, it got way too hot in here, so yeah. And I have a guest, so I don't want them to melt. But my psychedelic story, this one was pretty crazy. It was with one of the closest people in my soul tribe, in my own personal soul tribe. It was my one of my bros for life, just a twin flame. It was my cousin, her girlfriend, and my aunt and uncle, and it was just insane. So the psychedelic we took, this was a powerful experience, a really powerful experience. And we seen the things that I feel like, I don't want to say, because everyone's experience is different, and there's a bunch of lessons that come from everyone's, experience. But it was a man-made psychedelic, so you gotta be a bit careful for what you receive on them too, I feel like. But for us, I guess how our DNA used it, melanin and all that, it gave us answers we were seeking. The most insane stuff happened, so I think I'm gonna get into it. And one of the synchronicities that happened in the beginning of the trip that I think was a really clear indicator of what was about to go down was my uncle said before he started, or we all took it, he said, "Get ready, because this is about to be a spaceship." And those words have lived in my head forever, because this ride that happened after was insane. So funny enough, synchronicity and colors, he brought out a disco ball, not a disco ball, but like a thing that changed multiple colors right away. First sign, it was the chakras. It was going to be a very emotional experience. Then stuff started getting wild. Like, I was over here saying like, this is nothing, like, it's gonna be nothing, like, it feels like nothing, kept saying it. But I said I'm gonna let myself go to the experience. And you know what's funny, I think I should have did that too in a future video I have coming, a future about my heroic dose story on mushrooms, and telling, like, basically I feel like this story was way more intense than that one is going to be, but it's definitely not. But the effects of this were way crazier than that. But I feel like those effects that I had on that would have been like this if I was able to let go instead of control. Because I let go. I was like, there's no turning back now, so let me just experience. And that's how we all were. Insane. So let me just get into how crazy this is. So it's wild. And funny enough, like, things just start kicking in. First, like, hour, it was really nothing. Or maybe, like, we, kind of lost concept of time, not going to lie. But first, maybe 30 minutes, if I can really pinpoint, stuff started getting pretty wavy. Now, when the lights were on, it wasn't really, you couldn't really tell. Things got trippier when we turned the lights off. Started seeing the patterns that you can't normally see on, like, food, started seeing sacred geometry, all of that stuff. And funny enough, one of the things he brought up was, you can probably dance a lot better now that you're on it. And he was right, because I was unlocking, like, psychedelics unlocked what you really can't perceive. So I was perceiving myself as, like, music itself. I literally was dancing as if I was the beats. Insane way I'm trying to explain it, but it was such a beautiful experience. And not only that, it felt like the music was on my skin. It was insane. It was literally beautiful. And though we're going to get into where the low vibrational stuff starts to kick in, but it's not low vibrational. Like, to me, it was all worth it and for what it was. But, we start eating, there was a point where they ran to the store to get snacks, and I was like, I can't believe you guys can even drive like this. Like I'm like waving, like wavy as hell, super wavy. But again, they were very, this ain't to talk about like they were being irresponsible. It's to, just to give you, like, they were very well cognizant and stuff, and way, like, we were way more out of it because I think we were giving ourselves to the experience, and we weren't out of it. We were conscious, and that's what made it appear like we were out of it. Was like we couldn't even comprehend the things that we were getting. Like, one part that was really insane for me, so I'm just gonna, like, start talking about the insane parts rather than try to tell it in a linear fashion, because that's just how I do my things. But at one part I could see through my cousin's skull, like my cousin and my bro. It almost looked like we were pure light beings. And there was also a point where we went outside and we could see the grid. So you hear certain people reference the grid in the sky, like a holographic type pattern, like, the retro 70s or 90s, whatever it is, the retro, that pattern, that vaporwave type of pattern. We experienced that, and it was insanely beautiful. Like, to really witness that we are in a simulation, it was insane. We all seen the grid. So that tells you something. It wasn't, usually there's that saying that no matter if someone sees it too, you're all still witnessing something different. Well, we all perceived the grid in that time, and we were in trios, and you heard about the power of three, and something in the forest, it was insane, that was like calling us to go out there, but we didn't because of fear. It's funny, that we were feeling emotions so intense, but something told us not to, because prior we were already primed that there were bears and stuff out there, so we didn't want to go out there. But we felt like nothing would have happened to us, so maybe we should have let that child, like, stuff run. And also the whole thing on death, that would also test your thing on death, is, yeah, you can have the fear. Imagine being mutilated by a bear and all this, but those are all limiting beliefs, because what if not? You never know. It's just that's, but it's still, you can still say, you can make the argument, but arguing's pointless because you don't ever reach anything. You could make the argument that it was safer staying in the house, and I do agree with that. Maybe if it was lighter in the day, we kind of went out near the trees, but it was insane, and it was bright as hell outside. That grid in the sky was fucking insane. But I think that was one of the most insane things that I've seen, because I've heard many people talk about the grid on psychedelics. Never thought I'd experience it for myself. When I was out there, I seen the grid in the sky. Hands down. I cannot even get rid of that out of my head. Next thing, though. Another insane thing was, while me, my bro, and my cousin we like locked ourselves in the bathroom because of how much knowledge we were getting. Like, it was insane. We seen the patterns of how things were playing out. Like, it would sound like water was rushing, and we were on a ship, like on a boat. And we would say when the water was going to turn on. And also, another crazy thing that my aunt and my uncle may not know is they kept going to the microwave. Like, they kept taking things out and putting them in the microwave. It was fucking crazy. And we could time when they were going to open it, like when they were going to open it, when it would beep, all of that shit. It was insane. And we were standing in, like, the formation of a triangle in the bathroom, and it was almost like we could hear each other's thoughts. Like, we were stopping each other's mid-sentence. Like, insane. It was insane. It was like we were really witnessing that you are God. Like, we were God experiencing itself in different forms. It was fucking a bit too much. But the reason, it wasn't too much. I'm still alive. I'm here. But what I mean by a bit much is, like, the stuff we've experienced in the past is not even like how I talk about stuff now. Like, I talk about manifesting in the certain things that I want to do now because I genuinely feel like I need to put it out just because I want to. But the stuff that we were experiencing on the psychedelics, it goes way beyond the shit we even talk about. Hands down, we channel shit that I can't even begin to explain. But now to get into the more crazy part. So, at one part, my uncle, we all viewed this, that, like, we were all seeing the same shit. That my uncle started to, like, turn into, like, a genie. And he came out on the porch when we were out on the porch at one point, and he said, you know that my ear has always been one bigger than the other. And what he said was, he said, I thought you guys always noticed, like, it's always been like that since a kid. And something else he did was he kept spilling the water. Now, I don't remember if I'm recalling these events properly, but he said, like my bro recalled this too. He said that he always was spilling water as a kid. He would always spill the water as a kid. And we were like, what? And what we realized is where we were experiencing their higher forms of themselves meshing with us, because on the normal, like on the daily, we're already conscious, spiritual conscious beings, I guess you would call it, or occult scientists. So we already have, we're already in a state of awareness when we're not on psychedelics. So it was almost like they were raising up to our vibration. And it was freaking insane. And also, I just thought to make a little quick point, because I don't know. Actually, nah. But I'm going to say this right here. For if you're watching, GG. Don't repeat this story, because I'm telling it from my perspective, but I don't know if they would be cool with me telling this. And I just got that kind of message coming through that could be fear. But if they were to see this, but it was a beautiful experience. I mean, why would you not it was beautiful, but they probably don't remember the certain things that we remember. But yeah, it was insane. It was insanely beautiful. And more things that happened is, now we're getting into this little intense part, was at one part we were staying, not gonna lie, but it's also bad, is her girlfriend at the time was, we were picking up on something sinister from her. Could not, something just felt too weird. At one point she pulled me to the bathroom to say, can you see the black triangles opening up on your chest and stuff, things that I wasn't seeing. She was perceiving stuff way different. I don't know what truly was going on, but the energy that was given off from her that we were picking up on was just something sinister, something bad, something evil, right? And I mean, it lines up with what my cousin was telling me, where she would tell her things, her girlfriend would tell her things, she feels like she's just evil, or attached to evil entities, or is an evil entity. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, just not crazy, but I mean, it would be crazy to hear stuff like this. But then thinking about what we experienced on the trip, we seen it for ourselves. Now, I don't truly know, I don't want to speak too much on this, but yeah. It's insane, but definitely it was wild. It was wild, a very wild experience. I just looked at the clock, of course, and it was 2:22. But yeah, I'm kind of leaving out the next thing that I wanted to say, but I don't know if I really wanted to say it. Fuck it, I gotta tell the whole experience. So we get to the final part where we kind of gotta go to sleep. So we've been up through the whole AM, and even sounds didn't even sound right. It was like we were literally outside the Matrix. Upstairs, my aunt and uncle were watching something. I don't know what they were watching, but it sounded cartoony. It sounded like fucking some shit that was just I don't know, just weird, giving off some weird sounds. It sounded not real. None of it seemed real. We were really outside the whole Matrix. And there was that one part where my bro was trying to wake me up. He was, bro, look at her. Look at her girlfriend. Look at my cousin's girlfriend. Look at what she's doing. And my head was spinning, and I was yo, I can't, my head is spinning. I'm what the fuck, the room flipping. It was insane. But I was bro, I just can't. He said, no, look right now. So I look up, and at one part it was normal. she was just making sure she was okay, like saying something, couldn't remember. But then there was one time where I tried to focus, and I don't know if she was waving. Like I can't. I just want to know that he noticed something weird, almost like she was, and he was trying to tell me like before, like that shit where the people come out and be like, I'm not crazy. He was trying to tell me that she was doing weird hand signals over my cousin, and I was like, what? And I said, bro, I can't, like, the room's spinning. I can't even comprehend shit right now. I just need to knock. But yeah, that was an intense experience. So yeah, I know only like 2 of my family members really know about this channel right now. So I'm speaking to you, G. You see this video? I think I already told you about the experience before, but don't go repeating it. I'm not trying to manifest it. I'm gonna let this video be what it is and leave, but I don't know if people would necessarily like, but it was my experience, so like I got to talk about it. I want to talk about it. I got a vibe to do this, so yeah. But I'm not gonna think that you're gonna tell. You wouldn't do that, but yeah. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. This was pretty insane, but yeah, peace.